and
Hello,
welcome to
hello.
Panini Radio. I am Miara, aka Tight Cherry, your host for today's KUNE takeover. Welcome. Today we are celebrating something special, a 10-year anniversary today and next week also. Um, this summer marks the 10-year anniversary of KUNE, a vibrant organization that deals with culture and has been bringing people together from all sorts of all walks of life, from arts and music and creative communities from all over. And I am joined today with Anas and Alin, who have
Hello.
been pillars of KUNE and have been supporting this and bringing everyone together. So I invite them to present themselves and to tell us more.
Thank you, Mira. Yeah. And thank you, everyone, for coming and for those who are joining in. Thanks to Radio Panini for hosting. Super happy and excited to be here. My name is Anas, and yeah, as Mira said, yeah, I've been here in this game, the KUNE game, since the beginning, since it all started. And yeah.
What role do you play, Anas?
In my role is production, so I take care of all the tech, all the sound, all the lights, organizing. That's always been my fascination. Always been a nerd. Audio is my thing, but everything techy and in that way. Yeah.
Alin, how about you?
Hello, my name is Alin. I'm one of the founders of KUNE, and yeah, my role in the organization today, festival director. For those of you that don't know, today we're doing a festival, but 10 years ago when we started, we didn't plan to do anything remotely similar to this. And Anas wasn't doing the sound tech or production. We're all just a bunch of young people that really wanted to play some music somewhere.
Um, for those who've never heard of it before, like what is KUNE? What does it mean? What does it stand for?
Should I take this one?
Take it.
So, KUNE, the word itself, the word means together in Esperanto. So Esperanto is this language that was made up by a Polish ophthalmologist in the 19th century. And he had this very beautiful idea of creating a language that we would teach all around the world, in all of the countries, so that people, when they grow up, they can speak the same language, having grown up with it, and understand each other. And the purpose of that was to, bridge all the gaps between the peoples of the world. Of course, now we're all here speaking English. I myself, I'm from Bucharest, Romania. Anas is from Denmark. And Yulan, representing. And when we started this, we were five people from different countries. So we thought that it was a beautiful idea to get our name from Esperanto, which was more than anything a statement. And also it carries the identity of the group as we've been developing.
Very international. I like it.
Yeah, international and human.
So, what was the starting point of KUNE? Like, how, from one day to the other?
Yeah. I mean, we all met around this collegium called Gonjas Collegium, for those who know. And basically, people were living close by, so we were in the perimeter of each other in a way. And then we just all decided to make some parties in this little bar that was there. And then we all had pieces of gear or pieces of things that we could use to make the event. And then together we brought it, and then we started to play music, and people slowly picked up, and we slowly picked up ourselves, and we learned, and we expanded, and slowly we came out from there, and yeah, all over the city, making parties around the city, from rooftops to basements, grungy places, to nightclubs, to forts, many forts now.
Can I say the story of how we met?
Yes.
So to your
How
to
I
your
met
question,
your
yeah,
mother.
how we met. But yeah, I was out with a couple of other friends. We took two turntables like these ones just outside on the grass, and we were playing music for ourselves. There was really no one else. And then Anas here, he was roller skating in the neighborhood. And Anas,
I wasn't roller skating. Stan was roller skating.
okay,
Another friend.
you were walking while
Yeah.
he was roller
Biking.
skating. You were biking, okay.
Fast.
So they heard the music coming from someplace, and I guess curiosity got the best of Anas, and you came over and you saw the turntables, and you were like, "Hey, can I come and play with you?" So yeah, we were like kids in the sandbox, pretty much. So the kids that we were, we said yes, you can come and play, and then yeah, the rest is history.
So you were the two kids, one of the first two kids,
Well,
and more kids joined.
yeah, yeah. Basically, that's how that's how it all started. We were just like playing some music, and then people heard music. People are drawn to music. You know, I guess that's also how we're doing the festival today, and that's how people come to attend. Music brings people together, and it brought us together. So, yeah.
So I understand that was your pilot party. Do you remember your first party together? Like where was that, and how was?
Yeah, that was in that bar, Collegium Bar. I mean, you could call it the first one on the grass. I still remember picking my records and playing some funky tunes. Sun was going down. It was quite a moment. But yeah, it was this, we called it parlor, a bit like an old barbershop vibe, because that was the vibe that was inviting us in this, behind this, there was this back room, there was like the front bar where people usually hang out, and then there was the back room that was a bit like library feeling. It looked like where you could get your haircut or whatever, like it was funky, yeah.
I've been in Copenhagen personally for 9 years, and when I arrived, KUNE was already an established name, and had a very international and eclectic community around it. I associated it with a very DIY, where everybody brought in themselves and whatever they could do best, and it came together really nice.
Yeah.
So how do you think that has evolved, or has that feeling remained the same?
I would say it's pretty much the cornerstone still of what we're doing. Like, we are quite diverse group of people still, and of course our organization grew a lot more. Now we are like 30, 35 people in the festival organization, and everyone's contributing, their own special talents, skills, motivation, and all combining it putting it into this festival project, and yeah, we just all do the best we can, no one's getting paid, no one's getting like a fat salary check or anything. We're just doing it because we really, really care about this project and want to do it, and we want to bring the best we can, basically. Maybe you can elaborate.
Yeah, I guess to your question, it's still very much the same. The way that we started, it all started with an idea. I would say very idealistic from our end, and that thing still carries today. Everyone that is part of this group and has been throughout time, and maybe you can add some information there, because you're also part of the group a few years back. But KUNE is a space for us to grow. It's a space for us to get to know each other, to get to know ourselves, to push some boundaries. It's a safe space where you can make mistakes and learn from them. And it's never been really much more than this when it comes to the organization part. We organically evolved into doing a festival. And it really all came because we created so many friends that we had the idea of bringing everyone together at the same time, in the same place. And it had to be something sufficiently big. And
To hold everyone.
yeah, exactly, to hold everyone, and for us to be able to set up the vision that we had in mind.
Thank you. I was also part of KUNE in 2021. After I experienced the first edition in 2020 of the festival, like a pilot island edition, that blew my mind. So in 2021 I joined so I could, with the goal of offering the same feeling to other people and to build together so that other people could enjoy. I enjoyed the work and the process very much. It was very much hard work, but all great things take sacrifices, blood, not blood, but sweat and tears. There were. Yeah.
The year that Miara joined, it was the second time we were doing the party on the island, which, the festival. We were 11 people putting together a 5 days festival with 4 stages, 100 artists, 150 volunteers, 11 people. And
COVID restrictions.
And not much sleep.
Yeah, I mean, really, really tough stuff. And the only thing I think for me personally that kind of gave me the energy, and I think maybe it's the same for all of us in KUNE, it's really the passion that you feel from everyone else that is involved, and just the purity of what we're creating. We're not making this for any other reason than the thing itself, to bring people together, to listen to really nice music, to let art inspire us and unite us. And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Resonate with everything you just said. It's just, it's also just like this magic of creating something together through collaborations that happen naturally and organic. Can be the people that we work with on the stages, can be the people we work with on the actual production, all the amazing volunteers that come and help and dedicate their 5 summery days in July creating this madness on this island, which is truly inspiring to see the passion and the joy that people can put into like this project. The collaborations and for me it's a big part, sharing knowledge but also creating something together. What happens when you put a group of people and share ideas and create under a concept and a framework, like what can we make happen and what craziness can we do with, of course, the limitations of being a small festival with a limited budget. Is like, it puts a lot of creativity at work, Yeah,
but the limitation part is more interesting because it makes creativity flourish at the same time. And the good part is that there's no rules. Everybody can take ownership of whatever they feel passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
So that drew me in. Mm-hmm. I was sold.
Yeah.
Okay. So we used to work a lot on teams, on seeing each other. We started on on teams when there were like really bad restrictions, and it was funny to to think about it that it could never happen. That what we started doing could maybe not happen, but we just okay, let's just do it and see what happens. And it happened. But how do you work now? What is your process? Have you started? Curious.
So for us, the festival is really thank you. It's really a year-long process. As soon as an edition of the festival stops, you basically begin the work on the next edition. It's really so much work throughout the year. The 5 days of the festival that you get to experience when you attend is really just the fruiting body of like months and months of labor. And these days we are organized predominantly, I think 99% of our time is spent online. So we don't have money for an office. We don't have our own space. So,
but if you know someone that has a space,
you can adopt us. We're willing. But it's mostly online these days. We have to adapt and to make it work with whatever we can.
Because I know you also have full-time jobs. Everybody works. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's like people are, we're working in a nice group now. We're like foundationally, if people are interested, we are a Forening, so we have about board members that we have like on the top, you could say, and then we have a leadership team, and then we have those teams are broken into smaller teams that then work together and create the festival: communication, production, bar, first aid, volunteers, etc. So it's like it's all divided, and people have their niche and speciality, but we all cross collaborate with the media team, and we all whatever need to happen. Yeah, so it's quite wholesome that way.
So who is the team now? Who is?
Ooh, did you bring the list?
The org chart. Yeah, so we're
Where's that PowerPoint?
we're 36 people today, and like Anas mentioned, we have a leadership team, and we have a leader for each main areas of the festival. So, for example, operations, which includes production. We have Anas over here. We have Vika over there.
Maybe they can come and like wave at the camera.
Doing marketing and also visual identity. We have Vlad, he used to live in Copenhagen. These days he lives in Bulgaria, and he's still very much involved. We love you, Vlad. I hope you're watching this. And he's head of communication. Who else? Let's see. We have Chiara, who's been heading the program this year, and she's been curating the art performances and installations. And
With my
yeah, and she's working together with Maiwen and Polina and Mattia, and they're doing also the activities and some of the panel talks we will have at the festival. Martin and Casper, who this year they joined the team as our main bookers for the music program. Yeah, it's really a big bunch, I would say. And then we have in production quite a big team with Micha, with Oscar, with Rico, working on some of the stages. Yeah. Who I'm leaving someone out for sure.
Yeah, those who are not mentioned, you are loved.
Yes, of course. So the bar and actually Matisse is doing food this year, and Alex, head of on-site revenue, which includes bar and food, and then also working with Vincent and Simon, who are our heads of bar. And then, of course, we have Simon and Line, who are working with media production, so taking the videos, everything that you have seen recently online in terms of video material has been produced by them, filmed and produced by them.
Maria, volunteers.
Maria, head of
Laura.
volunteers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's really a really big team.
Give it up to the big team.
Yeah.
For yeah.
It couldn't happen. So,
And the collaborations. Let's not forget those. The Yakamot's crew from Austria, who's in charge of space designing vessel.
is this for this year?
Yeah, they also did 23. And they're combining forces with Creme Levante, who is Vasi and Marco, who are going to do some crazy-ass lights. We have the Feum crew from Aarhus, who's collaborating on Space Stage. And it's going to be really cool and exciting. And yeah, we have, of course, Radio Panini. Radio Panini.
Radio.
Yeah, and we have more cool collaborations. We have Storm Festival also helping us this year. We have at Beach Stage, and yeah, it's more things are coming. So stay tuned.
I mean, it's really such a collective effort, you know, and we're so lucky, first, to be working with the team that we have internally. It's so much work. I cannot stress this enough. And so many people are putting so much of their time into this project. And in regards to collaborations, I feel like this year we had a lot of crews coming in. And yeah, it's really beautiful to witness that in Copenhagen we have a lot of these teams, also from outside of Copenhagen, from the rest of Denmark, that are putting this together. So yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes, I can imagine. But enough about work. What is, for some people who have never been to the island and don't know anything about it, can you describe what is happening there? What is the island?
This is not Fire Festival. It is not Fire Festival. A lot of people have made this joke. But yeah, it's a festival on a fucking island in Denmark. So yeah.
Yeah, it's Ungdomsøen. It's called Middelgrundsfortet. It was an old fort from the 19th century, and it's like a very special place. It's like 30-minute boat ride from Nyhavn, and then you're in this place where you're just in the ocean together with a lot of people that are like-minded, and I feel like this in itself is special. And then we're adding just a little bit of spice, you know, like really, really amazing stages and
Great sound.
great sound, great curation of art, wholesome, like everywhere. Like it's gonna be super cool activities and yeah, just a lot of really wholesome and nice. It's like a big ass camp vibe feeling, and the way you get to meet people and see and experience art and culture is just quite unique when you can do it in the middle of an ocean. And yeah, you feel quite special when you're there. I don't know. I'm lacking the right words.
And what also makes it so special, I think, it's the venue itself, the place. So it is, like Anna said, it used to be a military defense fort from the 19th century. And there's really something to the fact that we are now taking over that place, and instead of building barriers, instead of defending ourselves, instead of going there to kind of keep the others out, we're actually bringing people together on that island in the middle of the ocean. And for those 5 days, you can really feel that place and the contradiction, between the military aspect and the brutalist, the concrete, and the way that it looks like. It's really just like a very unique mix, I would say.
It looks like a video game.
True.
So the location is exquisite, I can say. But of course, there are some challenges to putting everything together there. Like, what are the Can you make categories of the challenges you've experienced?
Yeah, we forgot the whole logistics. Shout out to Bart, who's head of logistics. And just imagine bringing, everything on an island. It's everything has to be shipped on a boat, on a pallet, and we're talking many pallets here. We're talking around 50 pallets, maybe. And there's a lot of gear, a lot of things needs to be moved, and just coordinated organizing. You can't just go to Netto or whatever if you forgot something. You really have to be careful in considering everything you do. And shout out to Lars Inabunga for shipping safely all our gear the last couple of years. It's just a crazy experiment as well, and challenging. Getting people to get out there. Because at some point the boats don't sail, so you have to be comfortable with that, and it is also what makes it nice, because you're truly there. You're just there, and you have to let it go and be there together and enjoy the experience from whatever perspective and whatever mindset you're in there. And I feel like that's also what makes it really unique, So yeah, that's a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say everything about the festival is really an exercise in determination, ambition, and resilience, because I feel since we started doing this project, it's just been a game of challenges, to be honest. Whenever you think you landed on this good combination or formula for doing it, something new happens, and you will have to find solutions to problems, basically, every year with every new edition. And we're also we're always trying to push things forward. We're always trying to do new things to learn out of them. So we're also not making it so easy for ourselves. But I think that's part of the fun, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know there were many challenges, many various struggles and financial situation, precarious. And after a year of pause, did you ever think that KUNE might not go on?
Yeah.
And how did you push through that?
We're going for the hard questions here. So we had to take a year break. We started in 2021, and then we did 3 editions of the festival, 21, 22, 23, and then in 24, we had to take a break because So in 10 years of KUNE, we've never made money out of these activities. It's never been for us about money. We all have full-time jobs. We all have to make do for ourselves. But this has always been a passion project for us. And doing a festival, I mean, I don't know how to describe this, but it's not so easy. And we are not professionals. We all do this kind of like on the side, and we're drawn to this with the purpose of creating together with others. So it's been a learning experience, you know, like in business, I would say every company, every business has a phase of like few years in the beginning when you have to kind of push through, like you have a good concept, but you're burning through money, right? Like to make all that happen. We have been burning through ourselves because we don't have money. So all we have is like vitality, vital force, energy to make this happen. And of course, financially speaking, we've also had a lot of difficulties with going into debt for trying to put together the festival. And I think end of 2023 it's been like carrying all this weight for 3 years. Like it presses really hard. So I think a lot of people in our team felt like we needed to take a breather and also to evaluate like, okay, this is not making any money. We are creating debt. Like, what is the point of moving forward when it's not fun?
A little crisis, you know, or whatever you can call it. It was some tough meetings. I remember sitting in this circle around the table, but I feel like we got ourselves together. We got reorganized. We restructured a bit how we do things and how we want to do things. I think we looked each other in the eyes and could feel like what kind of passion and what energy people still had, and there was still things to do and there's still things we want to do. And I feel like that's the main driving force, and we intend to hopefully make everything good with everyone, and hopefully this year we'll see how that turns out. It's really exciting to see how it goes.
Yeah, for that 1 year, we looked each other in the eyes and had open conversations, but we also had to look within ourselves and ask whether we want to continue and why, and to find that connection again, I would say. So I think we all discovered, or most of us discovered, that it's very, very tough to stay away from something like this. Because it's, for me personally, it's like one of the coolest things I ever got to be part of and to help create. And I think it's been worth of every single second, every single drop of sweat, every single moment of stress and worry. Because when you're there on the island for those 5 days, you're kind of just like out in space. You know, like it's like reality becomes, for like a very short amount of time, something really sublime. And it's like once you get to experience something like that, it's very, very hard to let go of.
Mm-hmm. I think that halfway the boat trip to the island is like the moment where you like leave reality and you just get into a different place, like a new place with same rules but cooler.
Absolutely.
But can you maybe tell of a difficult moment and how you overcame it, like a particular moment when you thought, okay.
Miara, what are you doing to
I'm
us?
done. I want some tears.
Okay.
Breaking us.
I am the therapist today. Don't be afraid. Be vulnerable. Nobody will judge you.
I mean, for me personally, it was like I remember in 23, I put too much work on myself. Like, just like bad at delegating. Like maybe a lot of people can resonate with this, but like. Okay, it's like instead of breaking it down and making it easy for yourself to give a lot of information, you just like end up just doing it and being really bad at like distributing tasks or whatever. It's like such a learning process, and I feel like that was really tough. I've gotten way better. Like I remember in 21 was like, whoa, okay, there was I remember a tough moment sitting in Astral Stage and like just like crying because it was like everything was just so overwhelming. I think it was even with you. Yeah, and we were just sitting there like, wow, and it was like really overwhelming. But then you came over it, you overcome, and just because you were there together, you were there, we could support each other.
Trauma bonding.
Yeah, and then really like coming through, and then I feel like it also made me stronger as a person. Like I really like I don't know, you can say hard skin or whatnot, but it like KUNE has shaped the way I am as a person and as a professionally, but also like in my personal life. You know, the friendships that I've gathered through it, like the bonds and the just the whole experience just made me like who I am. You know.
Thank you for sharing that. I think on my end, one of the toughest moments was at the end of 2023 when we did the festival edition there. So as a festival director, you kind of carry a lot on your shoulders, you know, a lot of responsibility. And that year, we had the best financial result for that particular year. You know, like we did the festival and we made a little bit of money extra. The problem is that we had a lot of debt coming from 2022 and 2021 that we dragged with us. And so what happened is that we had to pay some of the debt, and then because we didn't make enough money, we had to create new debt with the partners and artists from 2023. And so despite the fact that we had like a really nice result in that year, I think it kind of just clouded the whole experience, you know, how it unraveled. And I think it was incredibly tough for me to see disappointment in our team and in everyone's eyes, and knowing just how much work everyone is putting into this and how much of their time, and to feel like what they're getting back in return is something negative. I think for me that kind of like affected me the most, you know, and it was very, very difficult to handle and to carry that responsibility, and to feel like if I could have done something a little bit better, if I would have worked a few more days, if I would have had a better relationship with someone, if, you know, there's always that thing like, I should have done better, I could have done better, you know, like if only a little bit more. And at that point, I even considered, like, I actually remember took the decision for myself, I cannot do this anymore. I'm not the right person for it. I obviously don't have what it takes to make it good, and I also don't want to bring disappointment and trouble in other people's lives. You know, so that for me was a moment where I was like, I cannot do this anymore. But here we are today, I guess. You know, having an interview about it and getting ready to do another edition of the festival end of July.
I think there's always the idea, okay, I'll do it better next year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what has KUNE taught you about yourselves?
Yeah, everything. I was going to say everything, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. Just when I moved to Copenhagen, like from Jylland, I knew nobody. I knew absolutely no one in the city, and then serendipitous just met everyone that I know now, like through this process of being in the music scene and sharing something like this together. And we, of course, starting this whole project 10 years ago, and everything just shaped the way that my interests, like, and how I am today, the people that I like to spend time with, the music, being music nerd and working with sound and like everything. I think it was just the perfect combination for me. And I think like it's really, shaped a lot just how I am and what I do today. I mean, I work full time as a technician and work with audio and do events still. So I'm still doing basically that all the time, and I love it. Yeah. What was the question?
Yeah, what was the question? So what the festival taught me about myself? I guess I'm not so soft as I think I am, you know, or I can take a lot of abuse or something. I don't know.
Mostly from yourself.
Mostly for myself. No, but I guess, you know, it sounds so cheesy to say this, but like like you're you know, like in Rocky or Batman or whatever, like you get punched down to the ground, and just the fact that you can come back up and take another one. That's kind of like how it.
Resilience.
Yeah, exactly, resilience. Yeah, resilience for sure. And I think also like it taught me about myself. Like it revealed to me just how important friendships are for me and connections with people. And I think music and art, it's a way of like connecting with other people that is like beyond words or beyond other types of interactions. So yeah, it taught me that it's important for me, that part.
Can you? We've talked a lot about vulnerable moments and
Yeah.
maybe mentee B moments, but can you share an absolute highlight through these 10 years? Could be festival or party, like seventh heaven moment.
There are so many. I would like to say that. Just it's too many. But the first thing that came to my head was closing the 2022 edition with Martin as Interflow. It was like a really special moment. Just like very emotional overload and having like yeah, it was a really like peak time experience. I still remember being in the booth and looking out on people and like feeling that vibe. And yeah, I don't know, the closing sets always get me for the festival. Also 23 when Casper closed, it was super special as well, in the rain and everything was coming down, and I don't know, lots of like emotional damage, I would say, but in a beautiful way and a very like, yeah, wholesome. I don't think I ever feel like that any other time than when we do this thing, and I feel like that's also what, you know, keeps me coming back, because it feels good.
I would say for me it's like pretty random moment, but it's the first thing that came to my mind. I think 2022 or 2023, I was with my partner, with Luisa, in one of the stages there at Vessel, and it was during the night, and the sound and the lights and the visuals and the people around, everyone was kind of like in this state of trance, and the music was really good, and everything was like so well in sync. And then I remember looking at her, and I was like, I can't believe like we did this. Like, did we do this? You know, like look around, like, you know, like it was just like it was magical. Yeah.
For me, apart from my super fun opening 6-hour opening set at Space Stage in 2021, where I absolutely loved every second of it. I think the next best moment was us sitting in Proton record shop in the middle of it after closing hours and just bouncing ideas off each other.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, and maybe that's when Vika had just joined.
Yep.
And just like writing, talking, yeah, things were boiling in our heads. And yeah, it was super fun feeling of, okay, this is, we vibe, we're vibing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, good times.
So what are you looking most forward for this year's edition?
Again, well, I'm gonna keep saying collaborations, but I feel like this is, for me, is one of the biggest cornerstones this year for me personally. Like being the middleman between a lot of collaborative projects and trying to make everyone like get the most out of their creativity with the budget available. I feel like sharing knowledge is going to be a key thing for me. In the whole process, both during the production, but also the takedown and the whole stage up until giving away things that you've learned over time, passing it on to people that are interested and curious, and asking about, what about this, and how do you do, and why do you do that, and like all these things and all these questions. I really hope there's going to be a lot of them, because I like to answer them. And just seeing things evolve. I'm really excited for Astral Stage this year, and all the stages actually, because they're growing a little bit. I'm really excited for the art program. There's going to be a lot of cool performances, new things. We kind of like change the path on that. I don't know. Yeah, I can go on. I don't know. It's very a lot of cool things. Very cool.
From my end, I agree with everything Anna said. It's hard to come with something new on that, but Smiles and hugs on the island. That's kind of like what I'm looking forward to the most this year, because 2024, it kind of left a hole, you know, in the year, not having the festival, and it's just gonna be so magical to be out there again and get to live it. Yeah.
Okay. How about how did you choose your collaborations? Was it mutual attraction? Did they volunteer?
I mean, a lot of them it's through friendships, right? People that we already know or had some kind of relationship with. I feel like, especially with the Yakamuts crew, who's we've been working with now for the second time. Maya and Lotte, Jonas out there. If you're out there, looking forward to doing it again. So it's also fun to bring people from other countries. I mean, we do this with art. We do this with artists as well. But I feel like that's something unique because you're also bringing people that have like just live in a different city, that have a different mindset, different perspective on things, and bringing them together. I feel like that's super cool. The Feon crew, I'm really super excited to have join. They're a big team coming from Aarhus, and we've always shared similar vibe with them, and I'm just really had a lot of appreciation for what they do in Aarhus and keeping it OG there. Shout out to all the Aarhus gangs, and I feel like it's going to be cool to have them finally a bit closer together and sharing that experience with them. And yeah, what do you say?
I think that sounds pretty good, pretty right. Actually, I feel for us the way that we choose collaborations generally, whether it's artists or other teams or so on, you know, like for us, KUNE is an idea, and it's the idea that you can create a space together with others and be who you are, and not try to be something else or yeah, I don't know. And it's also the idea that we can create something together in life, which has no other purpose than to bring us together and to help us celebrate the fact that we're all alive. And I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but that's kind of like how it feels. And the artists and the teams and everyone else that we're working with, we feel like they share this feeling as well and this idea, and they want to participate into creating, into building this together with us. So I think that's the common ground that brings us together.
Yeah, I felt like every year the collaborations and the direction of the festival is formed very organically. But do you have a specific vision for the future? Is there any direction you would like to take it in? Or what is the long-term plan?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of dreams for sure, and I feel like that island has so much more potential than we utilize. And you could do way more collaborations. You could work a lot more with people and crews from Copenhagen, from other parts of the country as well, from the Nordics in general. We have a lot of big focus on the Nordics. We have like a nice relationship with like Monument Festival. We also have a little bit of relationship with Solstice. So we're trying to do a little bit of cross collaboration. There was this idea of having a moving art installation between the three festivals, something like that. A lot of cool things that, you know, we really want to do, but sometimes you just don't have the time or energy or not enough people to do it, especially when you're working, as we mentioned earlier, part-time. Everyone's doing it part-time. So I feel like there's a lot of potential for furthering and the experience out there, like in whatever way. For me, that's a personal driver, for sure. Yeah.
I think from a content perspective, what we are aiming for, or what we would like to for the festival to become is an institution, and it would be an institution that represents to the best of its ability some of the best talent that Denmark has to offer when it comes to music, when it comes to art, visual art, installations, performances. So on one hand, we want to be able to represent that, and at the same time, we want to be an active actor in connecting some of these dots across the rest of Scandinavia as well. So like Hannes mentioned, with other festivals, artists, and so on. A big part of our lineup is represented by artists coming from one of the Nordic countries. And we also work, of course, with international artists. So we want to be this link between the Nordic region and then the rest of the world as well. Yeah, I think that's kind of like what we're striving for. I don't think we're there yet, but every step of the way, we hope that brings us closer to that ideal.
Do you think KUNE has the potential to become a social movement?
That's for you guys to decide.
It sounds ideally. It sounds great because
Social movement. I mean, it's very idealistic, right, in its nature. I will admit that. I'm not sure if we've ever had the ambition of becoming a social movement.
what about a church?
We have. I mean,
Religious organization.
We've heard that we look kind of like a group cultish behavior or whatever at the festival, but. Not really. I don't think we are aiming to become a social movement of anything. Like, we have a statement to make. We're making it. It's a way of living as well for us. And if people connect with that, if people see value in that, if people get inspired from it, I think for me it is very important to know that the festival and what we're building can inspire others to create. Absolutely. Similar things in their own lives, you know, and to bring people together and to create and to let themselves be this driving force of nature that brings things into reality. So it's not just to consume, it's not just to attend, it's not just to be a participant, but in a part of your life to kind of let that vitality, you know, like create something together with others. It doesn't have to be a festival or anything like that, but yeah, we really hope that we get to inspire people in this area. So I'm not sure if that's a social movement as much as, just...
It could be, because I feel like in this very fast age of consumption and individuality, I think this maybe has the potential to fulfill a need of people to belong and to be together.
Exactly. And also that's a big part of I think for us, why we're so drawn to doing this and to put so much effort into this is because there's just so much of our lives that it's about consumerism, that it's about the bottom line, so to speak. You know, we all are encouraged from a young age to do things as long as we get something in return. You know, and of course, money makes the world go round. There's no way to escape that. But I think it's nice to have something in your life that reminds you at least of what life could be, right? And to try to balance off a little bit with just our busy lifestyle, you know, filled with technology, filled with all sorts of notifications, everything that gets your attention, you know. So it's nice to have something like this.
Yeah, and maybe just to add like a sense of like a language to express your creativity, and like a language to have an output, creative output. I feel like everyone should have some kind of output, and everyone has an output. And I think it's important to share that, if it's through music or art or whatever medium or crafts or whatever. It's important to have that, I feel like, aspect of your life. Yeah.
How do you measure the impact that KUNE has made over people's lives?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was just thinking, because I've been quite reflective the last couple of weeks, thinking also just about 10 years and what I've been inspired by other crews. Like when I moved here, and like there was people doing parties like around the city, and I feel like not as many. Maybe it was a bit smaller community. I feel like the community has grown insanely over the last 10 years. And I remember being very inspired by this crew, Copenhagen Underground Posse, COP. Shout out to all those guys, because they really pulled a lot of like laying a foundation for things that I like still do now. And I feel like there was a lot of crews that were around back then that really pulled a lot of interesting ways, and then and new people come. There's like a lot of it's very like cyclical in a way. and I feel like that's a part of it, and learning things, getting inspired from others, creating, learning. That's a nice process, and I feel like it's should be cherished, and it's so cool to see like how Copenhagen has been really shaped a lot, and now there's almost like too much stuff going on. I feel like every weekend there's like I don't know how many clubs and things and pop-ups, and it's crazy when you think about it. Yeah, what do you think?
When it comes to measuring impact, I feel like on the artistic side, we've seen collaborations with artists that took place after, for example, artists have played at KUNE Festival, whether it was for local artists that start getting more gigs, or some of the artists from other Nordic countries that after playing at KUNE Festival, then they start playing in the clubs here as well in the city. So, kind of like creating new collaborations and more opportunities. Yeah, exactly. So there's that part of measuring the impact. Then I would say there's a part on social impact, volunteering, for example. Volunteering at KUNE Festival allows people to enter a community. So we see a lot of people that have recently moved to Denmark or to Copenhagen that would like to participate as a volunteer with the purpose of making new friends, or getting into some social circles,
or learning new skills,
or for sure learning new skills. We're upskilling quite a lot of people there. And then I would say there is maybe for me it's like this emotional component. So I know of relationships that have formed at the festival. I know of people that ended up getting married, having kids after having met at KUNE Festival. And for me, that is priceless. How I don't know how you measure that, or like what that should say, but to me that matters a lot. And we've also done some surveys with volunteers and with audience members, just to get a feeling of like what did the festival bring in their life. And there's a very, very touching story that I've read in one of the answers. And there was this girl that said that she was in a very low point of her life before going to the festival, and somehow she pushed herself to attend. And it's tough to talk about it because it's so very emotional, and I hope I'm not giving anything out here because I'm not mentioning a name, but to know that this type of event saved someone's life that was maybe considering, that life was not worth living, and then I don't know. It's just like, how do you measure that? Just putting all of this together. It's again part of that answer of like, why do we want to do this? It's not for the money, obviously, but it's really to feel connected to life. Like to feel like you're like you're worth something in other people's lives. And that other people's lives are enriched maybe by this experience as well.
Nice, perfect. Can you describe KUNE, the island experience, in a few words? Life-changing, that's one.
Yeah. What did we thought we talked about
speechless. That's one.
Yeah, like I don't know. Can you?
Yeah, I'll have a shot at it. So it's a 5-day-long experience on a small island in the middle of the sea. The most wonderful thing is that it's a 30-minute boat ride from the city center of Copenhagen. So while you have this feeling of separation, you can still see the city from the island. So it's almost like you're looking at your life from an external perspective, and you get to reflect. Music, really nice, what we think is really nice music. Artists from the Nordic region, international artists. Besides music, we have performances, visual art, installations, panel talks. So a lot of culture, like we want to create more, to develop more culture through art. And camping, hopefully good weather. Sometimes it can rain. You get to swim, you get to make new friends. It could be a life-changing experience, I would say. And it's just out there,
Half an hour away. So,
Yeah.
if do you have any last words for people who
Any
are
last words?
still unconvinced? Who
So,
still don't have tickets yet?
so shameless plugs here. Okay, let's do some plugging. So, for the festival, it's around. We have about 150 full passes remaining. So, like, what does that mean? With a full pass, you get open access to everything from the first day of the festival on Wednesday to the last day on Sunday. You get access to camping, free, unlimited, free hot showers. Like, I don't know if you've been at many festivals around the world. I don't know if you've been at many festivals around the world, but this is really not something common, you know. And it is included in
Coachella.
exactly. So it is included. It is included in the festival ticket. 150 of those remaining full passes. So if anyone is still on the fence considering, you should get yours now. Other than that, we are selling also day tickets, weekend passes that we just start selling recently. And Radio Panini, this show. So thank you so much, Francesco, for having us here and the rest of the team. To you, Miara, for interviewing us.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
No.
I'm personally very excited about next weekend, where we're really gonna unite this KUNE feeling that we've had through doing nomadic parties around the city. We once again do that. I miss that feeling, actually, of doing small parties with the KUNE crew. So we're doing a 2-day celebration. First day at Kube, 2nd of May. On Friday, we're gonna do a showcasing of our premiere, show the film that was shot at the festival called Sound of Escape. We're gonna have some talks, and then we're gonna have 2 concerts. Blaume and Alpo are performing. It's gonna be very cool. It's gonna be like a loungy hangout, cool way to start your weekend. You should consider. And then the next day we're taking over H15. That's right over here. We're doing a 2-room party with a nice sound system, nice lights, proper KUNE vibe. Gonna play. Personally, I'm gonna play a little nostalgic set inspired by the 10 years of playing music, or more than 10 years. And then we just have really cool artists all over, from our homegrown to now one from Berlin who's coming, and really excited to share that. Yeah, maybe you want to say some words there?
Yeah, so for next Friday, we do sell tickets up front, so please get them if you're considering joining. It will be an evening of sitting down, enjoying music, watching a documentary. We'll have bubbles and cake for those that arrive first. So yeah,
exhibition.
Do you have guest list?
And also exactly we'll have a pictures exhibition with photos taken by Daniela throughout the last many years of activity. So yeah, hope to see you there. It's gonna be something new for us to do an evening of performances and like maybe a jacket, you know, like sitting and witnessing live music and so on. We haven't done something like that before, right?
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So be there for the first time.
Where can people follow you online for updates, for tickets?
Our website sucks. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Our website is great. It's just like we don't have so many resources. You know, like we are poor and we have so many other things to do for the festival. So our website is kind of like a little bit behind. But social media, Instagram, Facebook. I don't know if anyone is on Facebook anymore.
My
but
mom is.
Yeah, my mom as well. But we're posting there as well. And then we have our Worse app where you can also buy the tickets to everything else that we do. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So book your next weekends. Don't go anywhere else other than the KUNE weekend. Okay, so thank you for sharing your journey and your vulnerabilities.
Thank you so much.
Vulnerability is power, so we appreciate it. It was nice to hear.
Thanks everyone for being here and listening to what we have to say.
Okay, so I'm very excited for the rest of the day. So don't leave, keep dancing.
Yeah, big program today. Woo.
Yes.
Let's play some music.
Thank you.
Radio Panini.
Radio Panini.